Hello YouTube! Today we'll be replacing the carburetor and some fuel crap on a Toro weed whacker. I specifically have a Troy-Bilt TB575EC. Should work for most weed whackers, doesn't even have to be Toro. Doing it when it's cold as balls outside when it already seems to be winter seems like a genius move, but actually, right now, all the stuff I want to whack is brittle. It's gonna make cleanup a hell of a lot easier if I can get it to run. I've got a fuel repair kit. I've got a new carb for it. Hopefully it fits. We'll see. Let's get to work. So there's the beast. And just looking at a glance at the landfill, you might forgive a constantly broke-ass guy like me for thinking, hey, someone's throwing away a perfectly good weed whacker. I gotta take it home and it's just gonna need, I don't know, new fuel and it's gonna start right up. Wrong. First, we're gonna pull off this cover. It's just a little tab we push in at the bottom. And this pops right off. You're gonna wanna drain the fuel out of your tank before you start working on this. Then we're gonna pop off the hoses. Now ordinarily there's two hoses. In my case, mine was so cracked and bad I just threw it away. Pop the hose off, two of them. Next, you've got two screws here. You can use a flathead, you can also use a Torx bit. Here we have the throttle cable. You just angle it and it pulls right out. Then we have this hose here. Pull it off. Pull off this old carb. Pops right off. Don't forget that we've got an O-ring right here. All right, so there's the old carb. Let's see if the new carb, by comparison, is the same. Well, so far so good. Guess I can open this package. So the problem a lot of people appear to have, particularly with these Toro weed whackers, is that they buy some Chinesium carburetor. It's a one-size-fits-all they sell you, but typically the fuel supply lines will be on the wrong side. The throttle body here isn't exactly the right fit. And the worst part is this hole location. This is the negative air pressure hole. On most of these carburetors that I see on Amazon, eBay, everywhere, this hole is on the wrong side, so you're going to be in for a world of pain because it has to be on the correct side. People are reporting that they've got all kinds of problems, but this, no problem. It's pretty much almost 100% identical, and that's great. That's what we want. I'll leave a link to this carburetor in the description. The brand is Cub Cadet. Nice. Comes with a new gasket. That's great. So for whatever reason, they didn't provide the O-ring. But that's okay. You can probably find one at Harbor Freight. We're just gonna take the old one, put it over this. We're just gonna put the new carb right on, just like this. Gonna get the screws to hold it on, hang on to it. Don't forget the gasket. I don't know why it's got so many configurations. Must be like a universal gasket. I am worried that this new gasket doesn't have a hole for the negative pressure hole here, so I'm gonna set this one aside for now. I can probably poke a hole in it later. There's nothing really wrong with this old gasket, so I'm just gonna reuse it. Yep, and the hole perfectly aligns. Just gonna put this in. Don't forget this mystery hose. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry about that. Throttle cable, straight down, angle, there. Starting these bolts might give you trouble because for some reason the nuts that hold it on the other side tend to slip for me, so I have to be very gentle about threading this in. If you have the same problem I'm having, you kind of have to pull this towards yourself. We've got a Troy-Bilt fuel line repair kit. All right, who here likes fishing? We've got this nice little fishing tool for fishing our fuel line. Here's what we're gonna do. Where your fuel line enters, you're gonna insert this fishing line and loop it around to the filler neck of your tank, okay? Then we're gonna take the fuel line, put it through this hook here, just insert it. And that's what's gonna allow us to nicely fish this thing through, hopefully, in a perfect world. Nope, I didn't think it would be this easy. All right, well that was miserable, so off camera I took a drill bit and I drilled this hole out a little bit. You're going to have to be careful. You're going to need to, if you do that, make sure you don't leave the shavings of plastic inside the tank. But with it, oh, you got to be kidding me. Come on! This sucks. Maybe it really did belong in the landfill. Right. This is fished through now. I'm gonna cut some of this excess. Slip it right over where it belongs. Actually, I don't remember which is supposed to be which. Shit. Gonna repeat this exercise for this hose. Well, now that they're crisscrossing like this, I'm 90% certain which goes where. All right. Let's give this thing a bit of gas and see what happens, huh? Make sure you use good gas. That's always important. Oh man, now that I have done these drill holes, it just wants to escape. Okay, beautiful. Let's see. Okay, we've got fuel in here. Move lever to 1. Pull 5 times. Yeah, squeeze the throttle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 to 5 times to start engine. That's a hell of a lot better result than had before. It would just run and die. It runs beautifully. Now the only problem I have to kind of deal with is fuel leaking from the hole that I made that's too big. Put some rubber cement in there. But hey, if you have more patience than me and can fish those lines through, there you go. That's how you replace a carburetor. It's almost always the carb. And as it turns out, using electrical tape is an exceedingly stupid idea, or any kind of tape. Look at this mess. It actually dissolved the tape. So what I'm going to do instead is just going to use some gasket maker. The old one we can probably keep, and honestly, well, I'll keep this as a spare, and when the time comes, I'll just soak this in carb cleaner for 24 hours, and I bet it'll run like a champ again. It's probably just clogged somewhere, you know? Well, that's about that then. A lot of people complain about Troy-Bilts, about these fuel problems, but spend 20, 30 bucks replacing a carburetor. That's a hell of a lot cheaper than spending 200 bucks on a brand new weed whacker. That's just gonna have the same issues anyways. The number one reason why it happens in the first place is because you leave this thing filled with gas over the winter. Gas can get bad, it gets old, and it gums up your fuel lines, it gums up your carburetor. So before the season is over, just drain the fuel or burn it all up. Or put fuel stabilizer into the tank so that it doesn't gum up on you. And that's all I have for you today. The big deal is picking the right carburetor. There's a lot of Chinesium out there, and you kind of have to sift through that or try to buy OEM. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yeah.